The Kaurav army stood vast and intimidating, stretching across the horizon like a dark storm. It carried the might of the largest kingdom in Bharat, filled with seasoned warriors, royal banners, and weapons sharpened by years of ambition. This was an army built on power, pride, and the belief that strength alone decides destiny. Led by the mighty Duryodhan, the king who refused peace. At the very front of the Kaurav army stands Duryodhan, crowned king of Hastinapur, son of Dhritarashtra, and the man whose choices pushed the world towards war. He was not weak. He was tall, powerful, trained in mace warfare, and fearless in battle. As a warrior, he never stepped back, but inside him lived a storm he could never quiet. From childhood, he watched the Pandavas grow, loved by elders, praised by citizens, guided by Krishna. And every cheer for Yudhishthir felt like a wound to Duryodhan's pride. His greatest fear was not defeat. It was the thought that someone else might be better than him. When peace was offered, he refused. When Krishna himself came as a messenger, Duryodhan laughed and tried to imprison God. Not because he did not understand the consequences, but because accepting peace would mean accepting that he was wrong. Now, on the battlefield, Duryodhan does not fight for victory alone. He fights to prove that his choices were justified, that his hatred was right, that his pride was worth the blood. And that is his tragedy. He could have ruled peacefully. He could have shared the kingdom. But he chose ego over harmony and made war inevitable. He wasn't defeated by enemies. He was defeated by his ego. Shakuni, the man who destroyed kingdoms without lifting a weapon. Shakuni stands behind the throne. His hands are empty, yet stained with more blood than any warrior's. Shakuni was once a prince of Gandharva. His family was humiliated, imprisoned, starved, broken by Hastinapur's politics. He survived, but survival turned into vengeance. Shakuni never picked up a sword. He never charged into battle. Instead, he mastered something far more dangerous, the human mind. He whispered doubt into Duryodhan's ear. He fed jealousy, fear, and anger, slowly, patiently, and when the time was right, he placed dice on a board. With every roll, he stripped the Pandavas of their kingdom, their honor, their freedom. Shakuni proves a terrifying truth. You do not need weapons to destroy a world. You only need manipulation, timing, and patience. As war begins, Shakuni knows his work is done. He does not need to fight. The fire he lit will burn everything. He never lifted a weapon, yet caused the greatest war in history. Bhisham, the invincible who could not win Ganga Putra. Bhisham stands like a mountain, ancient, immovable, unmatched. He is the greatest warrior of his time. No one can defeat him in battle. He holds the power to choose the moment of his own death. And yet, Bhisham is the most tragic figure on the battlefield. Long ago, he took a vow of lifelong celibacy and loyalty to the throne of Hastinapur. That vow gave him invincibility, but it also chained him. Bhisham knows the Pandavas are right. He knows Duryodhan walks the path of adharma. He knows the war should never have happened. And still, he raises his weapons against the side of truth, because his vow does not allow him to choose justice, only loyalty. Bhisham fights with honor, not hatred. Every arrow he releases is heavy with sorrow. Every step forward is a step against his own conscience. He is proof that vows, when taken without wisdom, can become prisons. He could choose his death, but not his side. Dronacharya, the teacher broken by attachment. He enters the battlefield with bowed head and heavy heart. He is the greatest teacher who ever lived, trainer of kings, master of weapons, royal guru of Hastinapur, guru to both Pandavas and Kauravas. He taught Arjuna everything he knew. He shaped heroes. But Drona had one weakness: attachment. His love for his son, Ashwatthama. He did not fight for adharma. He fought because a father feared for his son, and a teacher was trapped by duty. When Duryodhana promised security for Ashwatthama, Drona accepted, even knowing the Kaurav cause was unjust. Now he faces his own students across the battlefield. He knows their strengths because he gave them those skills, and that knowledge breaks him. Drona does not fight with hatred, he fights with resignation. His tragedy is not defeat, it is fighting despite knowing he is wrong. Karn, the hero born on the wrong side. He stands radiant, powerful, alone, born the son of the sun god, abandoned at birth, raised as a charioteer's son, yet possessing the soul of a king. Karn spent his life proving he was worthy. Every insult carved him sharper. Every rejection hardened his resolve. He was equal to Arjun, sometimes greater, more generous, more loyal. When Duryodhan gave him respect, Karn gave him his life, even after learning the truth that he was the eldest Pandav son.
Brother to the Pandavas.
Karn did not change sides, because for Karna, loyalty mattered more than blood. He knows the cause is wrong, but abandoning Duryodhan would mean betraying the one man who stood by him when the world mocked him. Karn fights not for victory, but for honor. Ashwatthama, the uncontrolled fire. Ashwatthama enters the war burning with rage, son of Dronakarya, raised with scarcity, starved of love, approval, and recognition. He grew up watching others praised while he carried the burden of expectations. Ashwatthama fights not for dharma, not for loyalty, but for validation. His anger does not cool with victory. It grows, and when the war ends, his rage will not. Ashwatthama represents the danger of power without wisdom, strength without restraint. He is not just a warrior, he is a warning. When anger survives even after war ends. Jayadratha, the man who stopped the Pandavas. Jayadratha was not the strongest warrior, he was not the bravest, but one moment of cowardly ambition made his name echo through history. During the Chakravyu battle, when Abhimanyu fought alone, Jayadratha stood at the edge of destiny. Using a boon granted by Shiva, he blocked Bhim, Yudhishthir, Nakul, and Sahadev from entering the battlefield. 4 Pandavas stopped by one man. This single act allowed the Kauravas to surround Abhimanyu unfairly. When Arjuna learned of this, he did not hesitate. He took a vow before the setting sun. By tomorrow's sunset, Jayadratha will be dead, or I will enter fire. The next day, the sun itself paused to witness Jayadratha's fate. Children, these warriors are not good or bad. They are human. Kurukshetra is where choices meet consequences, promises demand payment, dharma stands on trial. And tomorrow, Krishna will speak. The Bhagavad Gita will begin. Jai Shri Krishna.